Hello students and welcome in today's session. Today we are going to learn different theories of evolution given by the different scientists and their evidences. Right? As you know, earlier we have seen the different theories of origin of life. Right? So in that spontaneous generation theory was there, abiogenesis theory was there, where the proof was not there, just the theories were there. So according to that theory, the earth has created about billions of years ago. Now, after observing all the different life forms, there is a scientist, Charles Darwin. When he went on a sea voyage on his ship MHS Beagle, he observed that there are different species of the bird which are looking similar to each other. By seeing these different species of the bird, he concluded that all these different species have evolved from one species of a bird. He has observed these species of the bird on one island. Right. So from that, he has given his theory of evolution. So today we are going to see Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. Along with him, other scientists also given some of the theories. So according to the Charles Darwin, it is said that evolution is a process and where little small changes will be get saturated, and after a long period of time there will be evolution of a new species. So this is what he has observed, the different birds which have difference in their beak due to different food habits, right? So he has given the scientific explanation for this theory of evolution. Another that Lamarck has given a theory of evolution with use and disuse. According to he has given an example of a giraffe. When we see the giraffe, earlier species of a giraffe is there, they were not having this much long neck, right? Even their forelegs are there, moreover same length is there. Whenever there is a scarcity of food on a land, then they try to take the food from the high-treed trees, right? So as they try to eat the food from the high-treed trees, for that time they have to raise up their front legs up and stretch their necks, right? So as this goes on continuously, means use of stretching neck and stretching front legs is continuous. So because of that, the species of giraffe which is short necked get evolved into long neck and long front leg. So they will get adapted betterly in their according to their need, and those who have adapted in that way only, they get survived. Those who did not get adapted, they get discarded. So according to the Lamarck, it is said that new species will be evolved based on the organ or the part of the body which they will use on continuously, that will get evolved, and the part of the body which they will not be used for long time, it will be get discarded. For example, it is said that our ancestor is having a tail, right? But as the human being started to live on the land and walking on the two legs erectly, the tail's use was not there. So because of that also slowly tail is get reduced and modern man is formed without tail. So this is what some of the examples of Lamarck's theory. This theory is called as use and disuse theory. Even the Charles Darwin is also saying the same, that there are some of the variations seen among the organisms which is kind of adaptations for their changed environment, and these changes will go on transferred to the next generation, next generation, next generation. They will go on saturating for many generations, and after long time a new species will be evolved. Like the Darwins, there is another scientist, Alfred Wallace. He has also given a similar conclusion. Actually, he has worked on maize, and he has also given the same conclusion that variations are there in the species, and these are evolved slowly, and because of these variation new species are formed. At the same time, he has also given the same conclusion, and at that time Darwin has written his book, published his book on the origin of a species. Whatever the Alfred Wallace has observed, this you can see here in this photo. Here the different varieties of the butterflies are there, and these are showing their similarities in their pattern. Maybe they are from the different species. Then also similarities are there, and some of the variations are there. So you can see the variation, even you can see the similarities in their wing. Even here also you can see. So these are the different species where you can see the similarities as well as the variation. So whatever the variations they produce, because of that they becomes a new species. So these are some of the theories given by the different scientists. Now what are the evidences for these theories and the evolution, which we are saying that in this way the evolution takes? There are different evolution evidences are there. In that paleontological evidences are there, anatomical evidences are there, and embryological evidences are there. Among that, first we will see paleontological evidences. Now in paleontological evidences means what? Paleontology is a branch of biology where the fossils will be studied. Now what is a fossil? Fossil is nothing but any part or the organism which is get buried in the soil millions of years ago, and it will be pressed in between the layers of the soil, and the part of that organ will be in the form of prints, right? So this is called as a fossil. See here a look. See here, this is an example that is called as Archaeopteryx, and his fossil has shown. See here, fossil. So this is how the imprints of that organism is shown on the rock. So maybe you are able to see it clearly or not, I don't know. But see here, these are the outlines of these structures, and this is found on the rock of that animal, right? So from this fossil, the picture which is created of this organism is this. So this is actually given the link between the birds and the reptiles. In the evolution story, it is said that the birds are evolved from the reptiles. Now see, you know the reptiles and their characteristics. Reptiles are the four-legged organisms. They have nails, right? They have teeth in their mouth. Then they have a long tail, right? Dry scales are there. And birds also characters, you know, right? They have the wings. Their forelimbs are modified into the wing. They don't have teeth. They have claws, right? Nails are not there. So if you see this example, so the name of this organism is Archaeopteryx, right? So this is just connecting link, and the more time it was not survived, so we have a fossil of this organism. In this characteristics, if you will see, it is looking like a bird. So it has wings as like a bird, right? It has a long tail, but in that also many vertebrae are there as like the reptiles, and the feathers are there as like the bird. Here also the feathered wings are there as like the bird, but at the end of these feathers you can see here the nails are there, right, which is generally absent in the bird. So this proves that These are the characteristics of the reptiles and this is the characteristics of the bird. Now take a look of the beak. So the beak is beak is the characteristics of the bird. But inside this beak, if you will see it here clearly, there are the teeth. So teeth is a characteristic of reptile. So the toothed beak is a reptilian characteristic. The winged claws, reptilian characteristics. Airfoil wings with contour feathers. This is a bird character, avian character. And long tail with many vertebrae are there. That is a reptilian character. Means this organism having the combination of birds as well as a reptile. So this is a connecting link where reptiles are evolving in the birds, right? So birds are evolved structure, reptiles are unevolved structure, and in between these two, this is the connecting link which shows that the reptiles are evolved into the birds. Like that, so many other examples are there which gives us the connection between the evolution, how the aquatic animals developed into the terrestrial organism, because we have one species of the fish which have a lungs, right? So that fish is able to breathe on a land and even it can go back into the water. So in this way there are many examples which gives us proof that the one organism is evolved into another. So this is one of the paleontological evidence which proves that one species evolved from the earlier other ancestor species, right? Another is that this is I say already shown you the fossil of Archaeopteryx. Then anatomical evidences. In anatomical evidences we can see the anatomy of the organism, right? Now in the anatomy, if we know that if the organisms are the same or related to with each other, then their anatomy is matching, right? So here we will see the anatomical evidences. Now in that two words are coming. One is that homologous structure or divergent evolution and analogous structure or convergent evolution. That also we will see. So first see that anatomical evidences. In that take an example of human being. Then this is a horse. This is a whale, turtle, frog and bird. If you see, these are all different organisms. Morphologically they are not matching at all with each other. Human being is fully evolved, highly evolved organism. Horse is there, those who are walking with the four legs, right? So it will use its four legs for walking, running fast, right? Whale is there, it uses its fins for swimming. Then a turtle is there, it is creeping on the ground, so used his forelimbs for walking. Then frog is there, used his forelimb for jumping. Then bird is there, it has the wings which is modified forelimbs for flying. So every organism's forelimbs are modified for doing different function. Means if we see there, the functions are different here. Every organism's forelimbs doing different function. But if you see their anatomy, take the first example, human beings, forelimbs, hands, anatomical structure, internal structure. Then here it is a one bone is there, that is humerus. This is radius ulna, two bones are there. Then here phalanges, metaphalanges are there. So this is what the structure of his forearm, right? Same here in horse also, if you will see, the one bone is there as like humerus, then two bones like radius ulna, and then it is a phalanges. Here whale, one bone, then two bones, and then phalanges. Here again turtle, one humerus like bone, radius ulna, two bones, and then metaphalanges and phalanges. Here same it is here in the frog as well as in the bird. So this proves that anatomy of all these organisms 4R is the same, right? But their function is different. They are doing the different function. So this is called as a homologous organs. So the definition of homologous organ is the structure which has anatomical similarities in them. The structures which have anatomically similar but their functions are different. They are called as a homologous structure. One more word is that is divergent evolution. Now what is meaning the word divergent or diverse, right? Means from one common point it will go in the different direction, right? So this is called as a divergent. If you take an example of these all animals, then this shows that all these different animals, human beings, then birds, turtle, horse, fish, frog, they all different animals are there, but their ancestor is one common, and from that one ancestor which went in the water evolved into a fish which will be live on the land as well as in the water, turtle, even the frog who need to be a jumper, then who want to fly, they have evolved for wings, then for running, horse. So according to their needs, right, their functions get differentiated, but their anatomical structure is the same. So this proves that all these different organisms are evolved from one common ancestor. Means here one common ancestor, and from that this is formed. So this is divergent evolution from one common point to the various forms. This is called as a divergent evolution. And homologous structures also you know. See here, take an example in plants. Here also in case of plants, if you will see, you can see here the stipules are there and here the tendrils are there. So these stipules may develop into the thorns, right? Or the tendrils may develop for getting support to the plants. Here you can see, this is the example of bougainvillea. The stipule is developed into a thorn. This is also a stipule, but this is developed into a tendril and which gives support to this cucurbita plant. Means their function is different. It gives support, it protects the plant. Here protection and giving support. Functions different. But if you see their basic structure, it is a stipule, right? So basic structure is the same, but the function varies, right? So this is again the another example of homologous organ in case of plant. Most of the time question will be asked on this. Then next, analogous structure and convergent evolution. Now analogous structure means what? The analogous means what? Which looks similar, and we feel like that, yeah, both are looking same, means it is a same. Both are having the same structure. So these structures are known as the analogous structure. Take an example here. This is the wing, bird wing. This is the bat wing, and this is the insect wing, right? If you will see the structure here, anatomical structure is different in bat, anatomical structure is different in bird, and insect no skeleton is there. In insect, wing is developed from the skin's extended portion. So here no skeleton is there. So here these all three wings are there. They are all wings looking the same. Even their function is the same, used for flying, right? But internal structure, if you will see, they are the different. So these are called as analogous. Analogous means they are looking similar, doing the same function, but their internal structure is the different, or their origin is a different, and these structures are known as a analogous organs. It is exactly opposite to the homologous organ. So you can give definition and example of bird, bat and insect wings. Another example is of eye, octopus eye and human eye. This is one more example of analogous structure. Actually, human eye is very well developed. It receives light, make an image, right? Blind spot is there. Even resolution power is very high. But in case of octopus, it is just light detecting structure. So both the functions are the same. Receiving the light, detect the light, right? Form the image. But their internal structure is the different. So this is another example of analogous structure, octopus eye and human eye. Again another example is given. Fish is there, its fin. Then penguin bird is there, its wing. And dolphin, mammal is there, flipper. So they are all looking the different structure used for swimming. Here also it is used for swimming. There also it is used for swimming. But their structure is different. So that's why you can give this an example of analogous organ. Right. Now one more word was there. Convergent evolution. This analogous structure is an result of convergent evolution. Now what is mean by convergent evolution? It is just exactly opposite to the divergent evolution. In divergent, what we have seen, from one common ancestor different forms of life formed. And in convergent, different ancestors comes together and form a similar structure looking the same, but their ancestors are different. So this is what it is called as a convergent, right? We will see this little bit more in detail ahead, but just you remember that in divergent evolution ancestor is common, while in convergent evolution ancestor is not common, right? The organism, those who are convergently evolved, we are looking them similar, but they are not from the common ancestor, not having the same ancestor. And homologous and analogous structure. Homologous, internal structure stay same but functions different. Analogous, internal structure different but the function same. Why I am saying this repeatedly? Because based on this 2 marks question, most of the time it will be asked. Either asked a definition and examples or differences, or they will give you the number of examples and you have to classify them as a homologous and analogous. So keep this in mind very nicely and get it understand. In analogous, one more example is there. In case of plant, here this is the potato, you know that potato, and this is a sweet potato, right? Both are underground structure. Both function is store of food. Function common, underground structure, but these are again the modifications for the storage of food. So this is the which part of the plant get modified for storage of food. This is nothing but the stem modification. And if you will see the sweet potato, it is a root modification. Means internally, structurally, if you will see, this is a stem of a plant and this is a root of a plant, right? Means they are having the different structure, but their function is the same. What? Storage of food. That's why these two examples are again a analogous structures example. Now next, embryological evidences. Now in embryological evidences, again we will see the embryos of a different organism and we check the structure of different embryos. And this evidence again it will prove that there is a one common ancestor for different forms of life. Let's take a look of this picture. So here are some of the embryos of different organisms. This is the fish embryo, this is the reptile embryo, this is the bird embryo, and this is the human embryo. If you take a close look of this, then all these organisms, aquatic animal, land, reptile animal, aviation means flying organism, and human, well developed, right? But if you see their embryos, they are having gills in their embryonic condition for the respiration. Common structure? Yes. And at last, here it is a tail. Everyone has a tail. If you see this fully evolved structure, in reptiles you can see a tail. Otherwise, no any other organism. Even fish have the fins in the form of tail. Even the birds also have a tail of feathers. But human don't have a tail. But then also in embryonic condition, they have a tail, they are gills for the respiration. Means what? These all organisms, fish, reptiles, birds and humans are evolved from one ancestor which is having these characteristics. Means these four animals, ancestor is there that is having the characteristics. Means that animal have the gills for respiration, that animal have the tail, right? So because of that, the different forms which evolved from that one common ancestor will show the ancestral characteristics, right? Because every organism show the ancestral characteristics once in its life. And do you know atavism? Atavism is nothing but reverting the ancestral characters once in its life. So maybe you have heard the news that some of the children born with the tail, right? Means our ancestor is having a tail. That's why some of the organisms show its ancestral character in their life, right? So this is what the evidences proves that all different life forms are there. They have evolved from one common ancestor. These are some of the other evidences. These are biochemical evidences which again gives us proofs that all the life forms are there. They have a common ancestors or they are related with each other. Means DNA replication is there. This we can find probably the same in all organisms, right? Even the DNA converts into the mRNA and mRNA forms the protein. So this is also transcription translation process is there. It is again the same in all different organisms. Protein synthesis occurs in the same way. So this gives us idea that all the living organisms are related with each other. They shows biochemical similarities in them. See another example of biochemical evidence that these are the different animals: gorilla, rhesus monkey, mouse, chicken, frog and lamprey. And you know that in hemoglobin there is a chain of amino acids because hemoglobin is a protein and proteins are made up of amino acids. So just see here the number of amino acids differences with the human amino acids is given. Gorillas amino acids in human, if you will see hemoglobin, then only one amino acid is different from the human amino acids. In rhesus monkey there 8 amino acids are different. Mouse 27 amino acids are different. Rest all are same. In chicken 45, like that. Frog 67 and lamprey it is 125 amino acids are different from the human amino acid. So this again shows that there are some or less we are interlinked with each other, we are similar with each other, and this proves that we all have one common ancestor, and from that we have evolved into different organisms. So these are some of the evidences which gives us idea that how the different life forms are evolved on the earth. Now there is a concept of a natural selection. So how the nature is selecting the organism, right? This evolution will be occurred by natural selection. Now how nature selects? On what criteria nature selects the living organism and discard the some of organism? How? So this we will see with the one example, that is industrial melanism. Now in industrial melanism, if you will see, in England there is an area where earlier industries were very less and so many trees were there. As the environment is clean, no pollution was there, you know that lichen, which is a pollution indicator, has grown very nicely on the tree trunk, and the lichen color is grey in color, right? So all the tree trunks were majoritarily covered with the lichen, so it looks like little bit grey in color. Now the countries get evolved, and because of that, when the areas get evolved, industries also get evolved. Now in that area there were two color moths. One is black color moth and another one is the white color moth or a grey color moth, right? So whenever the moth sit on the tree trunk, then this white color moth is there on the tree, as here majority lichens were grown. That's why this white moth get hidden in its grey color background. And the predator of this moth is there, that is the crow or birds. They majoritarily not identify these grey color moths, and these black color moths are there. They are having the contrast color with their background. So easily the predator get picked this black color moth. After some time, black color moths number is highly reduced. Their population is highly reduced, and the population of this grey color moth is increased. This is what you can say as a natural selection. Means the nature select the organism who adapt themselves according to the environment, and who will not adapt, who will not change themselves according to the environment, they will be get automatically eliminated from the environment, right? So this is what a natural selection. Now see what happened in part B. After some days, when the industrialization increased in that area, then the smoke released from that industries, carbon particles released from that industries just started to get deposited on the tree trunk. Pollution get increased. As the pollution increased, lichen automatically get discarded, right? And as this soot particle, carbon particle get deposited on the tree trunk, the tree trunk little bit becomes a blackish in color. Now the background of the tree is become blackish, and here in this condition is changed. Now in this condition, this black moth is there. It is get hidden in its blackish background, while the grey or white moth is there. It becomes clearly visible. Now this is the time when the predators eat or spot out these white moths very clearly, while these black color moths are there. They get hidden in their black color background, so easily get saved. So after some time, the population of this white moth is sharply decreased and black moth is increased. So as the environment changed, the species selection is also changed. Means in this environment, nature has selected this white moth, while in this changed environment, nature has selected the black moth. As this white moth is not able to change its white color into blackish color, this moth is discarded by the nature. So this is what a natural selection. Now one more thing is there, that anthropogenic action and because of that also in a short period of time, due to some of the human activities, some of the organisms or their species get evolved faster, right? So this kind of evolution is there where we are responsible, human beings activities are responsible for their evolution, faster evolution. This type of evolution is called as anthropogenic evolution. Take an example here of a mosquito. Suppose these are the species of the mosquito. You can see here blue and red color is there. Whenever we spread DDT, right, on them, then because of this DDT spray, most of the mosquitoes get dead, and only these red color mosquito species is there, that is get survived. Means what? They are having the capacity to overcome this DDT's chemical, and they produce a progeny which is resistance for this DDT. So here a new species is evolved which is resistance for a DDT. Means this is a kind of evolution from DDT susceptible species has evolved into DDT resistance variety because of the mutation or change in that organism. So this is what occur in a few of a time. So this is called as a anthropogenic action. Now you must have seen this in your lifetime also. How? Take an example of mosquito. How we are repelling the mosquitoes earlier. We are using some of the materials which gives smoke in the house, right? And with that smoke the mosquitoes repel away, right? In this way we get protected from the mosquito. After some time some chemical based mosquito coils has come, that is kachwacha, right? Which we have to burn. They will release the smoke and the mosquitoes repel or die also, right? But after some time we found that these coils are not affecting on the mosquito. They are resistant to that, right? Means new species evolved. Then what we have done? We have evolved our method of insect killing, mosquito killing, that we have bring the liquid mortine chemical, right? We plug off that liquid mortine, that will get vaporized. So this insecticide chemical is there, that mosquito. After some time again we see that some of the species of the mosquitoes are there. They are just moving around that mortine only. They have no any effect of this mortine. Then we have increased the concentration of insecticide in that liquid. Means we have gone increasing the insecticide concentration in the liquid, and the mosquitoes are able to evolve the more and more resistant species in them. So this is what in short period of time, due to our action, the mosquito has evolved. So this is a evolution in mosquito due to our activities. So this is an anthropogenic evolution observed in mosquito. Like that we can see in bacteria also, right? Prepare this very nicely, because most of the evolution theories are there. Darwin's evolution theory is there. Then use and disuse theory of Lamarck is there. Then evidences, homologous organ, analogous organ is there. Examples of this is there. Then evidences, paleontological evidences, embryological evidences are there. Anatomical evidences are there. Whatever the examples we have taken to study them. Biochemical evidences are there. These all are very important, and based on that 3 marks, 2 marks or sometimes 5 marks question will be asked. 5 marks question will be very rarely asked, but 3 marks, 2 marks question most of the time it is asked. So prepare it very nicely and do well. All the best.